This is my top 15 favourite movies that I saw this year. Please note the keyword, favourite. This is not what I consider to be the best movies of 2022, like factually. This is genuinely my favourite ones. That is a hint. You guys probably know what number 1 is going to be. But please tell me your list down below. That'd be amazing, man. It ain't got to be top 15, man. It can be 10, 5, 3, or just your favourite movie of the year. Let me know down below. Please do smash the like button. I'll genuinely appreciate that. And just like always, there are 2 honourable mentions. Glass Onion and Hellraiser. I loved both of those movies for different reasons. I highly recommend checking out both of them. They just didn't quite make the list. Coming in number 15 is Terrifier 2. I actually did a full reaction on the channel. You can check it out, man. I'll leave it in the description. I can't deny it is so unbelievably wacky, hokey, and outrageous. It literally makes, especially by the end, it makes no sense. But I can't deny I was enjoying myself so much watching it with you guys, man. It was just amazing. Art the Clown is now genuinely becoming a horror icon. And just like the first movie that I actually didn't see for ages, I actually saw it like 2 weeks before I saw number 2, some of the kills are insane. Some stuff I've never seen on camera before, and I'm down for it. Hey, we need a 3rd movie. Come on now. Coming in number 14, Avatar: The Way of Water. I do think Avatar 2 is way better than the first one, especially on the world building and the visuals. James Cameron, I don't know what the budget was, bruv, but he's not playing games. Everything on the screen is looking god tier. And if you're a massive, massive fan of Avatar, this is probably way higher up on your list. But for me, I'm very casual with Avatar, and it still made my top 15 list, and I saw a ton of movies this year. So yeah, I do think it's good, and I actually, again, think it's better than the first one. Coming in 13 is Scream. I think the first movie is a 9 out of 10, and then the rest, they're kind of just fine. There are a few stinkers in there. But I've got to be honest, this surprised the hell out of me, man, enough to make this list. It seems like a lot of these old school horror movies, they're coming back with like a kind of soft reboot, even though it is a continuation, and they're just slapping, mate. I mean, Scream was great, man. The characters, especially the new ones, were very good, but the 2 big things for me, I couldn't work out who Ghostface was, and I love and appreciate if a movie can keep me on my toes and keep me guessing. And the gore, mate. I think the kills in here, they're probably the best in the franchise, aside from the first one. I'm just keeping it real. This surprised me a lot, and I'm very casual with this franchise, but down for another one. Coming in number 12, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Yes, I'm counting this as a movie. I reacted on the channel. Mantis and Drax just going to steal Kevin Bacon to give to Star-Lord to make him have a good Christmas. Sounds wacky and bananas, and yet this actually had emotional layers. Couldn't believe it. If, aside from being really, really funny and visually looking like a grade A movie, I started getting teary-eyed at the end, mate. I'm not going to spoil anything. You can genuinely see my reaction on the channel. I'm not chatting cap. It caught me off guard, mate. This slapped. And at the time of this recording, Guardians 3 ain't out yet, but I am so down. Coming in number 11, Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, the comedy is way too much. They made Thor kind of goofy and dumb again, but I can't lie, everything else I really did enjoy, man. The story was great, Jane Foster was great, some of the action looked unbelievable, and Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher is your boy's like highlight of this movie. To be honest, aside from being way too like goofy and so much comedy, the thing that upset me the most about this movie is the lack of screen time for Gore the God Butcher. This could have been way higher up on the list if they gave my man more screen time, but overall I still really, really like this movie. I think it's solid in Phase 4 of Marvel. I totally get a lot of people did not like this movie, but I'm a fanboy. What can I say? Coming in number 10, Werewolf by Night. They've done this whole black and white nostalgia 80s monster movie kind of thing. Boy, it paid off. It paid off so good. The story was great. Brand new characters who I cannot wait to see in future MCU projects. In fact, this done so well, I think Marvel will now reconsider doing shows like She-Hulk when you can just give them an hour mini movie kind of thing, and it brings everyone up to date. You can keep it tight, you can keep it action packed. This just slapped, man. I definitely think it's better than Guardians. Again, I think it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder, if I'm being honest. This had pretty much everything. I gave it a solid 8 out of 10 on first watching. After rewatching it, it's still 8 out of 10. Coming in number 9, Black Adam. For years, Dwayne Johnson's been like that, mate. And I gotta be honest, my guy delivered a banger of a movie. Him as Black Adam, it is genuinely chef's kiss. It is a perfect casting. The action is so good. The visuals, the budget, all that stuff, you know it's gonna be good. The story is okay. It had a few nice little twists and turns. The villain's a little bit lackluster. I think if they nailed that, this could have been even higher. But the huge one for me, I'm so sorry, he's the highlight by far. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate slapped, mate. Like, I'm always always on YouTube re-watching his scenes because they're so goddamn sick, and I really hope we get a Dr. Fate DCEU TV show. You've done it to Peacemaker and it slapped. Check out that video, it's already on the channel for the top 15 favourite shows. But we need a Dr. Fate one, and not to mention this after credit scene, I ain't gonna spoil it, it's pretty much everyone knows anyway. Yeah, it's a goddamn hype. I do love the fact that I filmed this just before they dropped Henry Cavill as Superman. Absolutely pissed, mate. Coming in number 8, Prey. I'ma just say it, mate. Crystal clear and transparent. This is the second best Predator movie that we ever had. I think that is a fact. Set back in the day where this old school Predator comes to Earth and all these tribes, like, he's basically gonna kill them all. And you follow one, like, tribe member go against the Predator. It's old school Predator movies, man. And it just slapped. I can't deny, like, I've seen it now 5 times, bro. Just to check, like, am I tripping? Am I thinking this movie's way too good? But nah, I mean, I done my review, I left it a few months, and then people still talking about it. I watched a few other, like, reviewers on YouTube, and they, like, gave it pretty much the same score as me. So I was like, okay, cool. This must fundamentally be an actual good movie. It blows my reptilian mind that this did not come on the big screen. I think that is a huge wasted opportunity. Maybe they thought it was too risky, but I think it would have paid off, man. This could have made some big dollars. Coming in number 7, Bullet Train. This movie and the next movie, they're definitely the most unique ones on this list. But the fact that it's just a brand new story, I had no idea what's going on. It doesn't connect to any franchise. Brad Pitt's character gets on a train in Japan. By the way, side note, I'm kind of obsessed with, like, Japanese culture, so all of that stuff was amazing to see. He gets on the bullet train and there's, like, assassins on there. And there's this huge, like, spiderweb story that you do not know what is going on until right at the end. Story's good, comedy's very, very good, and the action is top-notch. I think this movie, on a lot of people's lists, especially professional critics and stuff, it will probably be way higher, but for me, I'm still giving it 7th place, which is still, I think, anyway, very high. This movie has got also great rewatchability. I highly recommend watch this movie, please. If you like stuff like John Wick and like Snatch, like kind of put it in a blender, and that's kind of what Bullet Train is. Coming number 6, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Probably shouldn't ever work, is somehow they did, with the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman. They actually wrote the script and then he sadly passed away. And then the team, Ryan Coogler, and that had to rewrite it all, and I don't know how they got this movie to be so good with all this crazy stuff. If we're being honest, this probably had, like, worst hand dealt in any movie, at least on this list, by far. And yet they still done a really good story, extremely emotional, man. There's at least 3 times in this movie your boy was getting very teary-eyed. All the returning cast is good, and I think even Namor is a standout villain in the MCU. This had everything, the budget, the CGI, the story. It was pretty much all amped up from the first movie. I still think the first movie is better, but I was actually genuinely surprised how good this movie is, and again, it's very high up on your boys' list. And before we start the top 5, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is proudly sponsored by Private Internet Access. PIA hides your IP address and encrypts your internet connection. By changing your geolocation, you now actually have the full selection of content on apps like Netflix, which is genuinely amazing because your boy's in London in the UK, and there's a lot of shows and movies that are only available in Canada and the US. My location is now there, so now I can have everything they have without actually physically flying to America. And you can protect up to 10 devices with a massive range of platforms, including the PS5 and Xbox, which, if you are gaming, which you know I do on the regular, there is another huge benefit. You can bypass ISP throttling, which then leads to lower ping times, increasing your download and upload speeds. And just like before, now you can access geo-restricted games. And not to mention the whole changing your IP address, now you can overcome IP bans, which is amazing. PIA are genuinely flexing right now, and not to mention they are offering a 30-day money-back guarantee with 24/7 customer support. And by using the link in the description, ladies and gentlemen, and pinned in the comment section right at the top, you can get 82% off and 4 months free. It's too good. If you guys want to check out how awesome this is, all the links are in the description and the comment section pinned at the top. And lastly, once again, thank you so much to PIA for sponsoring this video. You guys are genuinely amazing. And now, back to the video. Coming in number 5, The Northman. Basically, a young Viking has something very bad happen to his past, and he goes on a big boy revenge quest, and he goes on this stealthy undercover kind of thing, mixed in with a little bit of like a gladiator story. Very little though. He's not fighting it amongst a crowd of like a fucking Colosseum, bruv. You get what I'm trying to say? This surprised the hell out of me, and I don't know if it like made its money back or broke even or had a huge like success. I have no clue. But I know a lot of people slept on this movie, and it is my 5th favourite movie of this list, and we're like skipping loads of Marvel stuff, and you know I'm a fanboy for this stuff, I gotta be honest, but The Northman genuinely was so sick, and I highly, please go and check it out if you haven't. Coming in number 4, Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I think it's safe for me to say, ever since the Cell saga, Gohan has been nerfed and nerfed into the ground, but not anymore, baby. Finally, he has his own movie, and it's big time to shine. If you are a big Gohan fan, you already know this, man. You know how sick this movie is. It's so good. With a good story, brand new villains, brand new characters. The visuals, a lot of people are like iffy with, but I've seen it twice now. I've kind of accepted it. Also, real quick, if you're a fan of Piccolo, Piccolo's amazing in this movie as well. I'd say, like, it is Gohan's movie, but then next up is definitely a Piccolo movie. Dragon Ball Z and Super is my favourite anime of all time, and I do think the Z movies are very hit and miss, but I can't deny the Super movies. They slap differently, boy, and this, I gave it 9 out of 10, seen it 3 times, it's still 9 out of 10. If you're a fan of anime, or of course Dragon Ball Super, check it out, it's a banger. Coming in number 3, Top Gun Maverick. Just a quick bit of backstory so you know where I'm at on the franchise. I wasn't even born when the first movie came out, and I saw it way later, man. I was much older, and I did not appreciate it at all. Damn, this second movie, boy, is probably one of the best sequels I've ever seen. Tom Cruise in a fighter jet, mate. I mean, as Maverick, it is so good. It's so good. My man's doing his own stunts. He's in the goddamn sky, bro. If you haven't seen this on IMAX, I actually think this is a better IMAX experience than Avatar 2. I'm just being real. The story is so basic, but because the characters are amazing, you have this real threat. So many training montages. It is just flawless, mate. I gave it 9 out of 10. I'm sticking with 9 out of 10. This surprised the hell out of me. I cannot believe, and still don't believe, how good this is. This could have easily been like a 7 out of 10. Quick, get your money back ting from Tom Cruise, but you know my man puts everything into every single movie, every project he's done, and you can tell on screen he's going 100%. This ain't a cash grab. This ain't an easy money sequel. He genuinely cares, and I gotta be honest, man, Maverick, it just slapped. Coming in number 2, The Batman. Your boy's got his hands up again, mate. Just like I did with Andor, I was on a thing on YouTube saying Robert Pattinson cannot be Batman. He's so dumb, so stupid. And now I look so dumb and so stupid, but I own that ting, man. You know what I mean? I keep it real, the channel. I actually think he's one of the best Batmans of all time. This like emo-y, goth, young version of Batman. It is a proper detective story, and it's so long. It's like 7,000 hours long, and I love every single second of it. All the cast, all the characters, very good. You guys know about the villain life, Riddler here. Easily by far the best like mainstream version of Riddler we've ever got. Also the Penguin, mate, played by Colin Farrell. I know a lot of people are still in denial that it's even him because they don't look anything like him. I love this young, very gritty version of the Dark Knight, man. It's just so good, and I love his car, all his gadgets. They're not like too over the top, but they're not like extremely like realistic. There's like a perfect balance of like superhero stuff and like gritty realism. It hits a perfect mark. I cannot wait for number 2. If I'm being totally honest, if my number 1 pick didn't come out this year, this would have easily been my number 1 pick. It is one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen. And now we're at my favourite movie of the year. In fact, this is probably the reason why I changed the title from not the best movie of the year to my favourite movie of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably already know this. Doctor Strange is my favourite Marvel character and comic character of all time. And I love Benedict Cumberbatch. They fused together to make something truly special for your boy, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I get to see my boy on screen once again, multiple times, because he's playing multiple different versions of himself. And I get to see the multiverse, and Mr. Fantastic, and Professor X. I get Wanda as a villain. She's one of my favourite MCU heroes of all time, in my top 5, even though she is definitely a villain in this movie. And I get Wong, I get an amazing story, I get amazing action, and I get Sam Raimi directing it, and I'm a huge fan of horror, and this pushes the boundary of any PG-12 movie I've seen in a hot minute. The gourmet and kills, I don't know how this is rated R, but respect, mate. You made it sick. All of that stuff on screen, it's genuinely like this movie was made for me. I was in my zone, I'm gonna be honest. legit. I've seen this now like 20 times. It is like always on Disney Plus in my house. I absolutely love and adore this movie so much. I cannot wait for Doctor Strange 3. If this was a top 15 best movies, what I consider to be the best movies that I saw in the year, I'd have Batman at number 1, Top Gun Maverick as number 2. But this is my favourite list, man, and my favourite movie that I saw this year was Doctor Strange 2. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Please tell me your list down below. I'd greatly appreciate that. As always, thank you so much for watching. We're going into 2023, baby. See you in a bit. Peace.